Good evening, everybody. This is James Brew of the Brew Show, and I hope everybody is having a great start to the month of April. In this video, we are going to talk about the just ended UEFA Champions League quarterfinal stage, and as a result, the upcoming semi-final stage of the competition. Now, in case you missed it, we had four juicy ties on paper. We had FC Barcelona taking on Borussia Dortmund. We had Aston Villa locking up with Paris Saint-Germain. We had Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan, a repeat of the 2010 Champions League final. And we had Arsenal taking on the holders of the competition and record winners of the competition, Real Madrid. Now, Tuesday saw FC Barcelona qualify at the expense of Dortmund, 5-3 on aggregates. 3-1 loss on the night, but thanks to their four-goal first leg win, the Catalan club entered the last four of the competition for the first time in give or take 5 or 6 seasons. Then we saw Aston Villa and PSG present a thrilling tie, 5-4 on aggregates. PSG losing 3-2 on Tuesday, but because they won the first leg 3-1, they sailed through. So that was for Tuesday's matches. Now, Wednesday saw Inter and Bayern battle it out at the San Siro with the Italian club edging it on aggregate, 4-3 on aggregate, 2-2 on the night. The Nerazzurri booked their place in the last four. And then the tie of the round on paper was the Gunners versus Los Blancos. Arsenal had a commanding 3-0 win heading into the tie at the Bernabeu. A lot of Real Madrid fans were optimistic that they would have pulled off another comeback or remontada, if you will. But alas, it wasn't to be because the Gunners dominated home and away. Arsenal ended up being 5-1 winners on aggregates. So now we have Arsenal taking on Paris Saint-Germain for a place in the final in Munich, with the other semi-final being Inter Milan versus Barcelona. So the question I pose right now is, who do you fancy to win their respective semi-finals? When you look at the clash between Barcelona and Inter Milan, you've got one of the best attacks in the competition so far. Barca having Rafinha and the wonder kid Yamal, and then Lewandowski. Even though Lewandowski hasn't quite hit the standards we know, he is still a very decent striker and he's been delivering in his own right. Then we have one of the toughest defenses in the competition. You've got a backline made up of Pavard, you've got DiMarco, you've got Bastoni. I mean, Inter are solid. Who do you fancy to come out tops in that tie? When you look at Inter's firepower as well, you've got Lautaro Martinez, you've got Thuram, you've got Mkhitaryan pulling the strings in midfield alongside Barella. You've got Barca too with their new crop of young blood, clearly showing lots of experience beyond their years. You've got Pedri, you've got Gavi, you've got Frankie De Jong, you've got Charlie. Where do I even end with Barca? You've got Ferran Torres comfortably on the bench, but willing to do the needful whenever he's brought on. It's looking like it's going to be a very tasty encounter. And then, who would they face in the final should they come to their semi-final? Because you've got one of the best attacks, once again, one of the best attacks in Europe with Ousmane Dembele, Desire Doué, Kvaratskhelia for PSG, having the new Portuguese wonder kid Neves in midfield doing his thing as well. You've got a back four marshaled by Marquinhos, and then assuming you finally pass that line of defense, you've got Gianluigi Donnarumma guarding the post, and that guy is no joke. Taking on the Gunners, yes, Arsenal are missing a record as number 9, but they've seemed to make good use of their um, first false nine situation because they've managed to get Saka back. He was terrific home and away against Real Madrid and at the quarterfinal stage. You've gotten Trossard coming in to make a decent cameo of things. You got Mikel Merino, who's been excelling in his advanced midfield slash false nine role. You got Odegaard, assured captaincy, keeping the attack going. Declan Rice, probably even better than Saka, if we are being honest, at the quarterfinal stage in terms of his impact for Arsenal over the two-legged tie. Those wonderful free kicks included, of course. Thomas Partey might be missing for the first leg of the semi-final, so you would expect that PSG will try and exploit that. But his presence is undoubtedly a key one. So when he comes back for the second leg, Arsenal would hope that they are still within within the having a decent chance to make sure that they progress to their first final since 2006 in the UEFA Champions League. So, guys, let me know in the comment section, how do you think the semi-finals are going to play out, and who do you think is going to come out on tops? We are guaranteed a new winner because Arsenal knocked out Real Madrid. So, are we going to have Barcelona adding to what is it? They are six. I think Barcelona have 6 titles. Are they going to add to it? Is Inter Milan going to make it 4, seeing as their last title was in 2010? And also, seeing as Inter lost their 2023 final, would this be a perfect time to right that wrong? Would we have a first time winner in Arsenal or PSG? The Parisians lost the 2020 final to Bayern Munich during that COVID era. So it will be a nice touch for them to win it and win it in front of fans this time around. And then, of course, we've got Arsenal, who lost the 2006 final to Barcelona. And having been in the final since, Arsenal have been desperate to win this particular one. So, who do you fancy to lift the big year trophy come the end of the European season? My name once again is James Brew. Anissa, you can follow me on all social media platforms, which would be Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok for James. No TikTok for the Brew Show. But send your comments, send your predictions. Let's stay interactive. Stay blessed.